What up, peeps? Anxiety Joe here. I believe it's day 10 of my 1 year challenge. And, as you may or may not know, yesterday was a horrible day. It was probably one of the worst days I've had in a very long time. And it was all the culmination of, this little saga, continuing saga going on with my truck. Um, I am now again without my truck. We are it's almost exactly 1 week. The story begins. I broke down at Wawa last Friday around noon. Couldn't figure out what the problem was. Couldn't get it jumped and started. Got a tow truck to bring me to the local Mavis. All right, there it sits for almost exactly 3 days till Monday at noon, and then I walk over there and say, "Hey, what's going on with my car?" And the guy says, "We can't figure it out. We've done everything we can here, and honestly, you should. I recommend you get it towed to the dealer." So, of course, I freaked out a little bit, but inside, and I squelched that and kept my cool, and really tried to stay positive, and okay, what's the next step? Next step, next step, and so I got it towed to Honda, and then that's Monday afternoon or late evening, and then fast forward to Tuesday, they called me. They said, "You're done. Everything's all good." It was only a dead battery, and I couldn't believe it. I actually said it on one of my videos, like a dead battery. Like, wow, it's unbelievable. It's almost too good to be true, right? So they give me they call me. They say it's ready Tuesday evening. I go get it, pick it up. I'm driving around, but I had this uneasy feeling, and my father, being a retired mechanic, said he doesn't believe that it's that simple. Why would Mavis send it to Honda for a dead battery? How could they miss that? So Honda, it says, okay, it's a dead battery. They charged me $130 for a battery, which I can't afford right now. But hey, I had to pay. So then I'm driving yesterday in the pouring rain all day, and halfway through my 10-hour shift, my car won't start again. It's the same exact problem. You turn the key, it's the same exact problem, same exact thing with a brand new battery. That man looked me in the eye and said, It is a battery. We fixed it. You are good to go." So now, once again, it broke me. It absolutely broke me, and I had to call tow truck again, get it towed back to Honda again, and luckily enough, my boss slash friend lent me his truck to use to continue delivering and working last night. And about an hour or two later, and that's the third time in the last, I don't know, 6 days, he's let me use his truck. So I've been really grateful and lucky to have that. And but about an hour or two later, I was pulling up to a delivery, and it had like little cobblestones on the corner, and I clipped it with the tire, completely popped his tire. Again, in the pouring rain, I have deliveries in the car, so now I got to make the phone call to my boss that now I popped your tire, and this all happened in the same day, within a few hours, and so then they had to send somebody to come pick me up, and at that point, I was just so rattled and broken. I mean, I've been trying to stay positive and really trying to, get out of my negative, shitty thinking, and really stay on top of this stuff by any means, however I had to do it. And it just broke me. I snapped. I completely snapped yesterday, and that's like I had like the worst video I've put out was day 9 yesterday, was me walking home in the rain, after I just popped his tire, and it was just it just felt like I was crushed. It crushed me. It really did, and So now I get the call this morning. Okay, it's your starter. It's your starter. There's a connection not being made or something, and it's going to cost you about $800. But we'll do our best to give you a discount or something. I'm going to go there tomorrow and completely raise hell. And I mean, not in a fu, but I'm gonna, I gotta say, like, dude, you sent me out the other day saying we know it's just the battery. We know for sure it's just the battery, and you're good to go. And within 24 hours, my truck was back with the same problem. So now it's the starter, right? So what if it happens again? And not only time but money and the amount of bullshit. We're going on a week now, and these quote unquote professionals at these few places I've been to, it's still an unresolved issue, and they better hook me up, man. They better give me some kind of discount. I mean, a serious one. You're going to quote me $800 to put a starter in? I just got off the phone with my father, who's a retired mechanic, as I said, and he said that's almost double what normal places would charge. So they're gonna have to do something for me, man, because I don't know who's negligent in this, but there's a lot of negligence if you go down the line. But I'm really trying to get myself out of this because this is really it crushed me yesterday. It was just like too much too fast, and it got to me. It really broke me. It broke my spirit, and I let it just. I've been almost like floating in my head lately. I've been really feeling that positive vibe, and really in the face of all this adversity, and that just crumbled yesterday. And so now I'm like really anxious, and my anxiety's so high, and I'm stressed out, and I'm trying to meditate, and I'm actually going to probably meditate a lot today because I'm off, and I'm trying to find that place again. I'm trying to get back to that, that floating equilibrium where my head I was heading. I was like on the way, and I allowed this to derail me. Because again, this is stuff you can't control. I can't control that stuff. I'm not a super mechanic. I don't understand the inner workings of all that, so it's out of my control. But so as I said, I'm feeling really, really anxious today. Really, I'm not depressed. Last night I was depressed. Like, I just went to bed, and I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with life on life's terms yesterday, to borrow the old quote from NAAA, because it just broke me. So I'm just trying to put it back together today, and put the pieces back together, and step by step trying to get out of my funk, because it don't do me no good or anyone else no good to stay here and stay in my head. It's just I guess every person has their breaking point, and although I'm striving and working to become better and become a better version of myself and my consciousness and my self-consciousness and all that, and stay on top of my shit. I'm still I have flaws for days, and I have old habits that creep back in after so much. So it's staying on top of that, and I'm really trying to do that. So day 10, checking in. What time is it? It's like almost noon. I may or may not check back in later, but so that's my focus today. Again, I got to get out and exercise again. It's been a few days, and I'm doing my best to try to put myself, put the pieces back together and get my head straight again, understand that eventually, this saga will end, and it will end happily, and I will have my truck back, and things will be okay. And but for now, it's a struggle. It is. It's a struggle, but that don't mean that I'm scared to face it. I'm facing it. So I ain't gonna bury my head in the sand. I'm just not doing it. So and that goes for you guys too. Anybody out there going through tough times, go ahead, bury your head in the sand, and tell me how much better it gets, because it won't get better at all. You gotta take action. So, again, I'm not gonna apologize for yesterday, because there's nothing to apologize for. But I will say that my video yesterday sucked, because my mind frame sucked, and where my head was sucked, and everything about it. So today is day 10 of my challenge, but day 1 of putting myself back together again. And so let me get on doing that, and whatever that be, whether it be learning, exercising, reading, meditation, all the above, probably. It's time to get on that. So I may or may not check back in later, but we'll see. All right, peace, peeps, peace.